Alright guys, how's it going today? So, it's, yeah, I guess it's Sunday or whatever. It's been a, it's been a hell of a day for me. I'm running on very little sleep. Not sure what the hell happened last night, but I woke up, so it was about 2:30 in the morning and just had a shearing pain on the side of my stomach. I think I pulled the muscle or something. I don't know. I must have really pulled it hard because I didn't get any sleep at all. So maybe 2 hours at the most. But didn't really want today to go to too much waste. Because I wanted to get at least get a couple of things done, and I've been meaning to put the Christmas deers away. I finally got them out of the ground because all the snow is pretty much gone there from in front of the house, but I was kind of waiting for the frost to kind of lift out a little bit, so they wouldn't stay in there. But I got them out yesterday. I just didn't get around to putting them in here until now, so I didn't know if I was even gonna even get out today or not and do anything, but I wanted to get a couple of freaking things done. So yeah, so not really much to talk about. I'm trying to find, yeah, I think they're in here. I'm trying to find the parts for, well, I've always called it a cultivator, but I guess there's another guy I watch on YouTube. He bought one. I think it's slightly bigger than mine, but it takes that tooth, that little brown tooth there. This is the replacement for the one that's broken on that cultivator, but I guess they're not called a cultivator. They're called a spring tooth harrow. I've always just called them a damn cultivator, but that's what that's what it's called. And I have one shovel, or whatever you want to call it, it's been broken for quite a few years. But but I need to find the replacement bolts, because when you replace those teeth, you can't reuse the old bolts because they're just so wore out, and half the time you have to actually destroy them to put, to get the new shovel on. So I believe these were the bolts that were for it. I guess I got some miscellaneous junk in here too. I think it only takes two. Yeah. I should probably pick up. So I think that's one of them. But I gotta make sure that I got enough washers and stuff too. I'm going to go to the hardware. There's plenty of bolts in here. I'm going to run to the hardware and payday and pick up a few things. I got to pick up a little bit more fuel for the saw. I'm only down to 1.5 cans, and I would like to have at least 2 or 3 extras, so I can, I got a couple of trees that I got to cut up this year. They fell down last year, but we just never got to it because it wasn't on our priority list. I was more or less trying to focus on getting that old building cleaned up. So, but that's pretty much done now. I got to haul a little bit of dirt for that. I got a hole there I got to fill in, but my uncle's going to have to take the 400 out and go dig some dirt out of the hillside to to get extra dirt out of it, because we need extra dirt. So so I just want to make sure that I got enough extra parts here. But yeah, so in the process too, this would have been probably a couple of weeks ago. Probably not even that. Maybe a couple of weeks ago. I had I had a plumber come over, and he looked at my my pipe that goes out to the sewer tank. One, the water stopped flowing into the tank, but it was flowing into my basement, and that's actually was becoming an issue. But I found out if you just instead of, because me and Mother, we both like our water. Like, she likes her water cool, and I like my water hot. So whenever she would shower, it would never really be a problem. But then when I would shower, it'd always be a problem. So I been trying to do some experimenting, and I found out that if you run extremely hot water, that becomes your problem. So I started taking cool showers as well, and that's kind of fixed my problem. But he says that it's got to be cracked, and we're going to have it replaced, obviously. So, but we can't do anything because we can't dig any freaking dirt. We can't dig dirt away from the house, so we have to kind of just have to let it go for now until whenever. So trying to make sure I got the right nuts and everything too, because I don't really want to have to go to the herder unless I have to. But they go on there, but they doesn't feel right. But yeah, so that's that. Hopefully, it's still very, very, very cold here. It kind of, the snow's trying to melt, but it's too cool. That nut doesn't seem like it's right. That's gotta be because I don't have any other ones. So, get that. They all should be pretty much the same. Because I want to try to get ready, because I want, when the time comes, because like I said, I gotta bring that harrow to the shop and replace that one spring tooth. It's just, so, because it's obviously not working anymore because it's broken. So, and that one, I think, I don't remember. I think it fell off. But I think it fell off that wing that I took off because I wasn't using that wing anymore because the handle broke, so you couldn't really adjust it anyway. So now I'm just using it for parts. So, yeah, I don't know why these are so damn tight to go on. That's not very good. But, so that's the first thing I got to do. The spring is bring the cultivator in, get the little tractor back up and running. We're gonna put the little farm Malay on it, so that'll be its first job for the year. And then I'm kind of hoping, because we want to plant in the garden this year. We never got to last year because it was underwater so freaking long. It just pretty much just ran out of time. We couldn't even do anything after that. So, but yeah, look, it's mashing the hell out of the. Huh, that ain't right at all. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so that went on there real nice. So why the hell? I wonder if that. So we got one bolt. That was the one that was already ready to go. I need another. See, I can't remember if it took this size or this size. Since they're slightly smaller, I'm pretty sure it was these big guys that it took, and I got way more of these anyway. So I think that's just what I'm going to do. Let's get a couple of these ready, so then we can so we can just hit it, you know, when we need to. I don't have to stick around doing this later on. So yeah, went on there too. I guess the threads must be kind of mashed on that a little bit. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was these big bolts that it took. Maybe I should make up a couple small ones too. I don't know. So I got some small ones too, but I don't know. I don't know, maybe I'll make up a couple of these too, I guess, just to make sure, so I don't have to dick around with it later on. So I'm gonna get a couple more washers, I guess. But yeah, so he came down and looked at it and said that it needs to be replaced. He says it's probably cracked right in the wall there, which I kind of figured out anyway, given how it kind of you know, would flood all the time. So but I don't know, I don't really want to have to, you know, spend money on that, because I want to try to get the Tahoe ready to go as well. So since I kind of figured out that little trick that if you just take, you know, not such blistering hot showers, you know, you'd be okay then. So I think that's just what I'm going to do for a while, and then once I think get the blazer going, because I'm going to need the blazer. I just his Big Red's not going to get in anytime soon, because it's just, that's just the way that's going to be. So all right, so but at least I always keep some stuff in stock, huh? So but oh, come on, get in there. So yeah, and these can just sit on the counter here for now, or on the bench, and then I guess when the time comes, then the time comes. Then we can pull the bastard into the shop, and then it'll be good. Another thing I got to get too is I wanted to get a couple of cans of fuel, like I said, for the saw. And then I got to pick up a cleavage pin. I think that's what they're called. I got some here now, but they're too damn big for the little Farmall. I don't know why. That's, I mean, Big Red's deal is smaller. I think that's a 1/4 inch. It's got the 1/4 written on it, so I think that's a 1/4 inch. And then I have 3/4 inch, which is, I guess, bigger than that. But the 1/4 inch is too big even for the Farmall. You think the hitches would have been a little bit bigger than that, but I guess not. So I'm going to run to the hardware, see if I can pick up the next size down from the cleavage pins. My overhauls came on down. I'm wearing my old ones because they're easy to put on, but they don't make noise like the other ones do. So I got two big ones because I'm not sure which one it requires. I forget. And then I got two small ones because I don't know, again, which ones I need. So I'm pretty sure it was the big ones. I think the smaller ones were just for something else. So, well, yeah, I got to pick up another one of these guys. another one of these, but smaller. See, this one, it's got the 3/4 on there, which I'm guessing is 3/4 inch, whatever. This is bigger than even what's on Big Red. Big Red is a 1/4 inch. And I don't know what this one was. This is a much older. This is a much bigger, much bigger ring here. This looks like it's a 7/8. This is not the biggest ring I got. The biggest one I have is on the 1586. That's the biggest. I call these damn things D rings, but I guess they're not really that. They're, I guess, called cleavage pins or something. I don't fucking know, but to me they're D rings. But the biggest one I have is on the 1586, and I don't know what size that was, but it's a monster. But the tractor's got big balls, so I can run a big sumbitch like that, so it doesn't hurt it. So now we're all like on Big Red. See, Big Red's got one too. I think you guys already knew that, but that's a 1/4 inch. And because they make them smaller than that too. So I need to grab, do I have a, I guess I could just take the one off of Big Red, which I'll probably end up doing. Maybe I'll just bring Big Red's cleavage pin with me then. Just so I remember that I need to go at least one size down from that. That is so, obviously, so the tractor would have a cleavage pin too, or whatever the fuck you call these stupid things. So then, because like I said, we're gonna pull that spring tooth harrow this year with that tractor, even though it's, you know, still has problems, it needs to be fixed, but mechanically it's still fine. It just needs a new manifold, and I don't know if I'll ever find that part for the exhaust part, you know, the diverter thing. And then a muffler. But a muffler, you can get them at Steiner's, so it's not going to be a big deal to find a muffler. They were out of stock for a while, but I see they got them back in stock, and boy, do the prices ever go up. It's freaking ridiculous. So, we got deer coming out. So, yeah, just can't believe that the freaking prices have gone up. So, but what are you going to do? So, but yeah, that's going to be, what's going to be the first thing to do once the snow disappears. This time last year, we didn't have all the snow. If you guys remember, you guys can go back on this. Well, the date of when this video was recorded will be way at the bottom in the description, so you can go by that. Go back to last year at the same time, and you'll see that a lot of the snow had already melted, and we were already beginning to flood. So this is telling me that we're already going to have a late freaking spring, which I'm not happy about. But what are you going to freaking do? I guess I'm just I mean, I am tired of winter. But we had it going pretty good, you know, going into winter. It was pretty damn nice. So we have to get punished, you know, one way or another every year, which is, you know, stupid. But what are you going to do? So, I don't know. But yeah, this time last year, we were already, I mean, yeah, we were flooding. But then it also rained a lot. It was cold. It was windy, but you know, we were past pretty much just winter stage bullshit. You know, we weren't in this thick like we are now. I mean, we still have all years worth of snow here. It's hardly melted. The only places that it has done any melting is where the sun like hits it, like. On the roof of my house, all the snow's melting off there because the sun heats up the roof, melts it. My driveway is completely completely de-iced because the sun bakes the shit out of it, so it gets nice and hot and then it melts. So, so my driveway has been de-iced. I think this is actually the earliest I think I've actually had my driveway de-iced in quite a long time. So, because it was actually de-iced quite a few weeks ago. And, yeah, it was actually pretty nice. So, it's not such a safety hazard, when you have freaking ice laying everywhere and people could trip, fall, and break their face. So, but what are you going to do? So, but I just want to get on with it, I want to get into spring now, and I want to get the cultivator or the harrow into the shop so I can replace that one spring tooth or whatever you want to call it. I just call it a tooth, or a shovel, whatever. I guess the shovels would be on the big John Deere cultivator, which would make kind of more sense now to why, when we pulled that harrow, it did such a good job of smoothing everything out. Yeah, it was still rough, but when you compare it to the big John Deere cultivator, that just makes a big mess, and it just makes big chunks, and that breaks them up. So, but it would do a lot better if I would replace that one tine that's broken. So, and that's been on my to-do list for the last 4 years. But I've always pulled that cultivator or that harrow with Big Red, and that's why Big Red's so wore out. But if that other wing wasn't so, well, I probably could fix it, but I just don't feel like it. So if I could fix the other wing, I'd probably put it back on, and then it would be a 3-section harrow again, and it would be much bigger. And, the little farmer would have no trouble pulling that at all. So Big Red kind of struggled a little bit, but it all just depends on how deep you go with them too. So, well, yeah, we want to try to plant something this year. My grandma's been she's been kind of irritated the last few months because they haven't been getting those instant potatoes in a box in the grocery store. They've never had it, on the shelf. So we kind of figured that maybe they're having a hard time even getting any of that order in, So you can still get instant potatoes, but you have to get the small bags. They make small bags too, and they're kind of useless. They're only good for maybe 2 or 3 servings, and then the bag's done. Whereas if you got a big box, there's 20 servings in that. Of course, it's more money, but it lasts a while. So she wants to actually plant some potatoes this year, because that's really the only thing that actually ever really grows really good in that garden. So, of course, we never did it. We haven't been throwing much of fertilizer on it the last couple of years because we haven't really been doing anything with it. So we plant a little bit here and there. The last time we planted anything in there, I actually tried to plant some corn just for the cows. But I guess the way I did it, it buried the seeds too deep, and then they just never could come up in time. So I guess I buried them too deep. I don't know, I can't remember what I did, if I threw them down by hand and then I went over it with the harrow, and maybe it buried them. I just had it set to just barely even scratch the surface, but I guess maybe that's too much for it. I don't know. You need an actual harrow, but we don't have one. So, but whatever. It's just whatever. So hopefully we can get into it this year and be done with it. So, but yeah. So I don't know. Oh yeah, and then the little farm mall, the farm mall A, that's going to be on the trail smoother 5000 this year too. I'm not putting Big Red on it. So, because I don't know how much, because whatever I am going to use Big Red for, I want to kind of save it, so, because I don't know if I'm going to have the Tahoe ready in time I might be able to, depending on how this weather goes, because it might take a while for this fucking shit to melt, and then you're talking probably another, again, depending on temperature, it could take a while for the frost to even lift out of the ground. So you're probably talking probably another 2 months, I bet, before we can officially dig safely, and not stress everything out. The plumber guy says that he could dig it out himself, but then obviously it would cost more. So I said, no, we'll do it ourselves. And he told me how deep it is underground that he roughly thinks, because he did some measurements, and he said it was about 2 to 3 feet, give or take. But you got to remember, they 90 it down right as soon as you get outside the wall. So my bet is it's probably a little deeper than that. It's got to be at least 4 to 5 feet, because the frost can go 4 feet deep. So, it's got to be somewhat deep. So the plans are, when we think it's safe enough to dig, we're going to do a bulk of that with the 400, the loader tractor, because it'll just go way quicker. And we got to dig. He wants it so many feet by so many feet by so many feet, so we'll let the 400 do a lot of the digging, and then when we get to a point to where we think we need to start doing it by hand, and we'll start doing it by hand. So, and then he said just to call back whenever we have it exposed, and then he'll come replace it, and then we could just bury it back up, cover it back up. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's just getting to be ridiculous. But at some point, I'm going to replace the whole entire septic tank anyway, because we don't have a leach field, so that's why we have so many issues. Because the leach field was actually that tank that's behind my shop here. I know Ridge 6 you probably won't remember, but that tank caved in quite a few years ago, and the damn John Deere mower almost went in. Because I went right over it. Didn't notice anything, obviously. But then I looked behind me and I was, oh shit, there's like a 2-inch hole, 2-inch diameter hole here. And I stopped mowing. I jumped off, and I looked at it, and I could see water down there. I was like, well, this isn't good. So then I just helped it along, caving it in more by safely doing it with a shovel. Just taking a shovel and cutting into it and getting it to where it was actually solid, And then after that, we dug some dirt out of the hillside at the farm, and we filled it in with that. And ever since then, we've been kind of having issues with the sewer tank. We can see now the main tank, the one that they put in for the house, is doing everything, and it doesn't have a leach field in it. It still has the pipe, so yeah, some water is getting into that secondary tank, but not very much. It's just whatever that dirt will handle, and whatever it can't, well, then it just sits in the pipe. So, so yeah, once we get like a whole new septic tank put in and stuff, we're gonna put in, obviously put a leach field in, and that'll take care of that problem. Then I'll never have to touch it ever again. So, but that'll probably be a couple of years away yet. So I just have to do what I can do to limp it along for a couple more years or whatever. It's going to cost me a pretty penny, but it's just one less problem I want to deal with. I don't want to have to deal with, along with trying to get a roof put on the house. Those are like the two main problems I'm having with the house as of right now. I think if I fix them, the house would probably be like 80% better. Lots of little minor things that need to be repainted and whatever, but you can do that any time of the year. So it doesn't really matter. But then after that, you got the Tahoe, and then you got Big Red. These machines need to get into the shop, get worked on. So, but the Tahoe is priority number one. The septic guy, you can give him a down payment, and then you can make monthly payments after that. So that's where it's kind of nice on that. As long as you give him a down payment and he's okay with it. But I don't know. Given how it's going to be, I mean, even going into next month, it's still cold. It doesn't even want to get above 35 degrees, if that. We should be at least in the 40s. I would be a lot happier with the 40s now. Maybe even tickling 50s at times. But we just can't get out of the teens and the low or the high 20s and low 30s. We can't, we can't climb that ever hill now. It's just there's just too much snow here. That's the problem, and that's why it's so cold here, because none of the snow can melt. So supposedly when you have snow, it's all the colder then. Also, it would quit frickin' snow, and then things would melt. See, now we had like a little dusting of snow quite a few days ago, and if we never would have gotten that snow, I think even just the driveway here for the shop, all that would have been just bare dirt or grass. That's where you're going to start getting your warm up, is when you start getting little things like that to expose, to the sun. And it starts heating up, and it puts heat into the air. There's a little bit right in the very center that's exposed. And then I got a little bit up alongside the house. That's all nice and exposed, but it's obviously not going to be enough. So we need more melting. That's what we need. We need to get, high 30s, low 40s would even do it. It would be a slow melt, which is what you need, because if you get too much of a quick melt, then you're just talking flash flooding, and that just becomes a nightmare. So, but I mean, come on, I'm still putting on overalls. I'm still putting on a winter hat. I'm still putting on gloves. It's frustrating. So, but yeah, I need to get the Tahoe ready. Well, I would like it done by at least June, because then in July I got to put a CB radio on that thing. So, and Big Red still never got done, because that needs to get sent in. So there's no sense of putting a radio on it, because it's just all that more junk you got to remove for them to get to it. So, and plus Big Red's battery doesn't charge, obviously, so the CB would just drain it all the quicker. So, what are you going to do? I got everything here. I got the antennas. The coax has already been ran on Big Red. The antenna's sitting right here on top of the trailer, so that's ready to go. It's not tuned, but because you need a radio in order to fucking tune it, but everything's here. I just need a constant power source now, and then I need to get the radio. Well, I'm just going to end up getting another one of those Cobra 18s or whatever, if I can find one. There's a few on eBay, but some have been peaked and tuned, and some are still bone stock. So the CB that's in the 1586 was the one that was on Big Red, but then I moved it over to that one. And then, now Big Red doesn't have one, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal anyway, so. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just getting to be kind of irritating, because I just want to get on with it. I want freaking spring to come, But it's not going to, because it refuses to. It just refuses to warm up. So, but yeah, I don't know. But for Big Red getting fixed, that's probably not going to happen until maybe fall. It may not even be until next year. I don't know. Because I don't know if I want. I mean, I could save up the money over winter months, and you'd be okay. But I don't know. I don't want to haul Big Red in the middle of winter time, because that would just be a nuisance. So, but I don't know. Eventually he'll get fixed. I don't know if I'll ever get a new one or not. It would be nice to have a new one, but then I'm also afraid too. Just you might get 20 problems with that one right out of the gate. So I don't know. Even if I did get a brand new 4-wheeler, I still don't think I'd sell Big Red, because fix Big Red up and since I wouldn't be driving him as much, then he's not going to break down as much. So he's been sitting most of the winter. So what more can break from just sitting there, you know? So, but yeah, I'm going to probably need him a little bit this summer. I don't know if I don't get the Tahoe done in time. Well, then Big Red's got to be that machine to take up that slack. So, and plus Big Red just gets around the field a lot nicer too. But you know, it's just you got to do what you got to do. So, but I don't know. It's outrageous. It's out stinking outrageous. Just this weather is what's killing it for me. You know, it's a total buzz kill. You know. So, but what are you gonna do? Oh yeah, another thing too is that the Tahoe is gonna have to go into the shop too. Either in June or July too, and see what's going on with the engine. It's still acting up, but if you crank it long enough, then it seems to, you know, fire up eventually. So I don't know. I don't know if it'll get any worse or not. It doesn't seem like it has, but it could too. But you know, I don't know. That Tahoe's going to have to be 100%. Because even though if I do get it, I mean, once it's ready for June, well, for July, yeah, I'm going to be using it the whole month of July to go back and forth from the house to the field. But then it's also going to be used, you know, I'm going to be going to town with it. I'm going to go grocery shopping with it. I'm going to go get things. So my grandma still wants me to drive her car, but that thing's getting so fucking wore out. It's unbelievable. The engine's still pretty strong, but you know the body panels are all giving up because the freaking salt just eats the piss out of everything. So I'm not really sure how much more life that car's got in it, but since she can't get around like she used to, you know, so she can't shop for herself, so then me and Mother have to do it for her. So, but whatever, because we kind of, it's a lot to do on certain days, you know, whenever we go shopping, but it kind of just makes more logical sense that way because we're going there anyway for ourselves, so we might as well just shop for her too, you know, and just be done with it. So, but I don't know. So, but yeah, anyways, I guess that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm just kind of, I'm itching for spring. I want to get the cultivator in here and get working on it, you know. It's just, I want to get on with it now. So, but I guess the most exciting part won't happen until about June or July, and that's when my calf or my cow is supposed to calf sometime in June or July. So I'm kind of itching for that too, because I want a calf. I haven't had one in a couple of years, probably longer than that, and I haven't made any money. So still don't really know what I want, because I had no control over it. But bulls make you money, but heifers make your herd grow too, and that's what I kind of need. I guess 50-50 would be all right, but if she had a heifer, well, that would be good, because that's another cow that can breed, the following year or whatever. So, but we just gotta, I guess, just be patient. Yeah, and guys, I guess I gotta take off. I guess my phone said here that it's dying. It's running out of battery juice, and I need to charge it up. So, but whatever. So, but yeah, I figured I'd just give you guys a little bit of an update, even though it's kind of a long video. But I'm caught up on videos, by the way. I don't have any extra videos now to post, so there isn't going to really be any more videos to make, because it's nothing exciting is happening. So calving won't happen for another few months. So but if I could get the cultivator in the shop, that would be some good videos there too. Okay, I know one guy's interested in seeing it too. He wants to see that harrow of mine, because even though he's got the same thing as mine, but he wants to see mine anyway. So, but I got to pull it into the shop and replace that tooth. So, But whatever. So anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. So I guess I have a good day and stuff. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.